the comment section is filled with, when are you getting Dr. Jaishankar? When are you getting Dr. Jaishankar? So today I'm really
That's
happy.
me commenting.
Okay. I don't believe one word of that. So now I'm so glad, and my team is thrilled that you're here with us today. And
Seriously, pleasure to be here.
thank you. So I am going to get into the macro issues of policy matters and India's neighborhood and all in the second half of the podcast.
Okay.
The first half is basically a curation of all that I've been seeing on the comment section where people said, please ask Dr. Jaishankar this. So the question which most people had was that how did the transition take place from, being a bureaucrat, a career diplomat, to becoming a politician, joining Mr. Modi's cabinet? Mm-hmm. How did you make that transition? What tools did you employ?
Well, I didn't make the transition. It happened. I mean, it happened because, as you know, I come from a bureaucratic family. We don't have anybody remotely in the family who's entered politics in any party at any time. It had not crossed my mind. I don't think it had crossed the mind of anybody else in my circle. And then, lo and behold, what happened in May of 2019 happened. Now, once I entered, I must say, in all honesty, I myself was very unsure. I mean, I had watched politicians all my life. One of the things you get to do in the Foreign Service, by the way, is you actually, perhaps much more than other services, you see politicians up close because you see them abroad. You're kind of working with them closely. You're counseling them. So it's one thing to watch, but to actually join politics, to become a cabinet member, to stand for Rajya Sabha, because when I was selected, I was not even a member of parliament. So each of this kind of happened one by one. I slid into it, sometimes without knowing it. You learnt by watching others. That's something, we say sometimes you go to any foreign environment, you kind of you pick up by. So for me, this wasn't a foreign environment, but it was a different environment. So, you looked at others, more senior people, more experienced people in the cabinet, in the party, in other parties. I mean, I even today, watch me in parliament. I do follow a lot. I look very carefully at what people are doing, both in my own party and other parties. I think there's a lot to learn from everybody. So you get into it step by step. Sometimes you'll surprise yourself. There is a learning curve. I'd be honest with you out there. There are times when you are a bit hesitant or a bit even nervous. But then, you do it once, you do it twice, you slowly grow over it. So, to stand up there, to reason with people, to make a speech, even sometimes, because in bureaucracy, until really the Prime Minister, that is 2014, Prime Minister Modi's comment, mostly people were used to speaking in English. So there was a language bit, there was a subject bit, there was a environment bit. There's a different culture also.
But as your skills as a diplomat, I guess it would have equipped you to win friends over easily, isn't it?
I don't think it's so much a question of winning friends. I mean, yes, it does help when you're a diplomat. You in a sense are almost trained, I would say, to get along, to get the most out of situations. Some of it is also different people are made different ways. I mean, you would see I very rarely get into anything personal with people, even when I'm provoked at times. I think people are just made different ways. But I would say this. I mean, it will be 4 years this summer. It's been a very, very interesting 4 years. I'm happy to talk with you later on about it. But when I look at these 4 years, for me, actually, it's been 4 years of very intense learning. Going to a state which I had really very little knowledge of. I'd been
Gujarat,
a few times, Gujarat. then having a particular area, as you know, as an MP, you work on a village or in a particular constituency. So all of these were learnings, and I find it very interesting. I find every day is a new day. I'm, as you can see, quite enthusiastic about it.
Yeah. When Mr. Modi picked you to be part of his cabinet in such an important portfolio, everybody thought that, you'd be like a technocrat or somebody, like, you bring domain expertise and you'll kind of restrict your karma into that region. Mm-hmm. But then one saw, you evolved. You became like any BJP karyakarta, like any BJP worker. You're part of the party. You take the party line. You go to all states, not just Gujarat. You're going to Karnataka. You go to Tamil Nadu. I've seen you going everywhere. And speaking about the party, it's become part of your the political part has also become part of your making now.
For me, it's interesting. That's how it seems to you. But look, this government, this cabinet is very much a team cabinet. Okay.